Just like that. Bam, in your face. Good to see you back, everybody. Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith. I'm just here to hit the charts. I hope you're ready. We've been watching things pretty closely since last week. I kind of thought this might happen, which is kind of what I said on the last stream. Yeah, that I thought maybe everything would slow down a little bit and matriculate sideways. Well, guess what? It happened. In fact, it got ugly, didn't it? Now, some of that stuff was maybe out of our control. Nonetheless, it happened. Good thing is we can chart it. We can go through some different things, see what may be coming, see what might not be happening. Either way, I'm here for it all. If you haven't done so, please get ready. We got a heck of a lot of stuff to talk about. Please go hit the like button. It's free. It costs nothing to hit like. The more people who hit like, the more people we help out. The more people we help out, the better we all do, okay? It's not that complicated, all right? I want to help out as many people as I can, one person at a time if that's what it takes. Nonetheless, I want to help out everybody possible. I don't always help out everybody, but I'm trying my best, all right? So let's go say hey to everyone, and then we'll get off into this. We don't have very many people on here yet, and I don't expect a ton of people with all the work, the hubbub that's been going on lately, and we'll kind of talk about that too. What's up, Tex? Good to see you, brother. Win Mullet, as always, good to see you, my friend. Jay Ortiz, what's up? When Mullet says Binance US just announced that they're only going to be doing crypto only with stables only, no more US deposits at all. And they did say that they have 1-to-1 fund backing. So they come out and said that, right? That they would be all right. Yes, they're basically going to be KuCoin, only the US. So interesting there. Dynamis, what's up, Dean? JD Crypto, good to see you, brother. Brother Beal, what's up? Raging Beagle, Todd Make, what's up? He said, what's up, though? Good to see you, brother. Raging Beagle, Manolo, what's up? Denny Deep Pockets, Jag, Air4, what's up, Bo? All right. First things first. In the sense, the last time we came on a live stream, first, Binance was sued. And by Binance, I mean Binance US. Binance, regular Binance, can't be sued by the US because they're not in the US. You could argue that they're going pre-2019. Good luck with that. Why didn't you sue them in 2021 or 22? Right? And then a couple days later, SEC come out and press the lawsuit onto Coinbase, whom they had worked with before, which is very interesting. We cannot control any of this. And people ask me all the time, well, Keith, what about this? What do you not think about? Do you not do that? Listen, you can't control certain things in certain situations. So stop trying to. No matter what you do, you're not going to stop the SEC from doing what they're going to do. All you are is a slave to the system. You can either get down or you can go away. All right. We have our choices. We have our options, and I'll continue to use those the whole way. You don't scare me off that easy. I'm not in love with any one particular asset. I don't particularly care which asset you talk crap about. Doesn't bother me. There are many, many, many assets out there to buy, and I will do so. There were several coins mentioned in those lawsuits. Two of those that were not mentioned were Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I don't think they ever will be, for that matter. They kind of been given a bit of a pass, if you will, and for that matter, Litecoin, Litecoin and Zcash and Bitcoin Cash have not been mentioned in any of those either. And those are all legacy coins. And a few of those didn't do too well in the last bull market. So, I kind of wonder, does that set up some of the legacy coins for the future? I don't know that for sure. That's 100% pure speculation. But I want to show you what we got on the charts before that so we can kind of get a feel for what's going on. What's up, Lunatic Prophet? Good to see you. Brian Bowles, what's up, brother? Cheese is on here. What's up, good cheese? Raclette, what's up, brother? Jag, Nicholas Greco, he said, made 25% on Netflix. First big win. Very proud. Let's go, dude. That's awesome. What's up, Jeremy? Crypto Trauma. That guy still hasn't got back with me on a tracking number yet, but we'll see. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is what's buy pressure. Many people ask me all the time, what do I mean by buy pressure? Well, buy pressure is best explained by the long wicks on the bottom of candles. Um, you would prefer to see this on a high time frame, not a low time frame. By high time frame, I mean weekly or higher, meaning charts where you're looking at one candle per week and that's it. That's a high time frame, right? It's not a very frequent way of trading. It's more macro based, which is what people always say that traders don't pay attention to, which couldn't be more from the truth. Couldn't be farther from the truth. When you see candles with long wicks on the bottom, especially on a high time frame, this is an indication that buyers do not want to give up. AKA, even if they're fighting a losing battle, they don't want to give up. And this shows us that buyers are still present, even if they're getting blasted. All right. In a downtrend, like you see here, big buy pressure. Even though this was a big red candle with a long wick, shortly after this, you saw up. Maybe not a ton, but some up, yeah? This was all during a downtrend in a bear market. Flip that over in a bull market when you have an upward trend, and we're not maybe necessarily in a bull market just yet, but we do have a clear-cut uptrend here. All right. And since we have a clear-cut uptrend, anytime you see long wicks on the bottom of candles during that uptrend, that's a sign that you're likely to get more up. It may not happen immediately, but it's clear that the buyers do not want to go away. Now you'll see bigger wicks on a uptrend than you will downtrend usually. And as you see here, you had some wicks down here. Didn't want to give up. That move up happened. Then you had some big wicks right here on March. This is when I bought at 20,000. Big move up afterwards. And the last few weeks here have given us several candles with long wicks on the bottom. Now, I honestly thought this candle may be the one that moved us off, but that didn't happen. We had another red week in after that, just shortly after what we were talking about on the last live stream, sideways and up. And we're getting a bit of that sideways now. It looks a little scary because these things keep throwing these wicks, but as you see, big wick on the bottom, more buy pressure. It doesn't guarantee that up's going to come, especially on a weekly time frame like this. It'll take several weeks for it to play out, honestly. And not to mention that we have a short-term downtrend here. Now, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, but basically when the SEC came in, they sued everybody and they wrecked the market. Wrong. It's been down since it was 30,000. These lawsuits only started rolling in at around 28,000. You kind of had a downtrend start, and we usually look at that on a daily time frame. Right about here in April, you've kind of had down and sideways since then. Not a whole lot to write home about. Every time you get a little bit of up, you get more down. A little bit of up and more down. And a little bit of up and more down. And now we've got this big green candle that we threw last week, or what is this? It was maybe Monday or Tuesday, something like that. Sunday maybe. Big green candle came in, yeah. A little bit too much, too fast, if you ask me. And then it paid the price for it the very next day, throwing another big red candle with a bearish engulfing. Nothing to write home about here yet until this thing breaks the trend. Now, it's also important to note that next week is CPI numbers, which is Consumer Product Index numbers. And that generally shows how fast inflation is increasing or decreasing. All right. People are speculating that that Jerome Powell, who's chairman of the Fed, they're speculating that he's going to pause rates, not cut them, but pause them, since how things have started to tilt back in the other direction. There's a lot of pressure on the banks. You're pressuring the housing market extremely hard by raising the rates up like you have. All right. And if you had wages going up to match that, it would almost be okay. But wages have not increased. They're kind of flat. And with all the extra inflation we've got, in some places, inflation is up 100 or more percent in certain sectors, right? Housing's up 50% or more, and wages aren't. And that's the number one most expensive thing most people ever buy is their home. It gets harder to buy the same house with a higher interest rate. You're not going to be able to do it. You're going to pay more per month. Also, the housing prices have gone up. Not only have the housing prices gone up, but the tax assessments have gone up. So you're paying more for the house, more for the taxes, and more for the interest without making any extra money. Not exactly a formula for success. So, how far did you push this, right? How far do you push us in one direction before it's too much? I've said before that the government often waits too long to do things, and then once they do them, they overreact, right? They're reactionary instead of precautionary. Is this one of those moments where Powell wises up and says, hey, we're going to pause and let things sit flat for just a little bit, which may be considered a pivot by most people, not necessarily by me, but most people would maybe say, hey, man, I think he's pivoting here, and they're going to start cutting rates. I don't know about all that, right? Inflation is still very high, and it's not come down enough, in my opinion. That being said, there's a chance he pauses rates, and if he does, I think you may see this trend break at some point here. Now, this is the Bitcoin USD chart from Bitstamp, right? And you can see a clear-cut trend line here. And this stuff got very wishy-washy here, didn't it? It was kind of tough to see. I'm going to show you here Bitcoin CME. And the Bitcoin CME is a little bit cleaner and a little bit less herky-jerky, okay? So what I see here is a similar move, but less freak-outy. Also, I'm going to show you these moving averages here so you can get an understanding for what the moving averages are kind of causing and what to expect. So these moving averages are kind of rolling support and resistance. And as they're rolling support and resistance, price tends to get hung up in between them, if they're in between them like you see. Price tends to stay above them if they are above them and use them as support. And price also tends to use them as resistance when they get stuck under them, aka bounce off of them and not break them. All right. Yellow is the 50-day moving average. Blue is the 100-day moving average. And these two green lines and purple lines right here, this is 8 EMA and 21 EMA, or exponential moving averages. All of these act as rolling support and resistance. I like to see a 821 upward cross, meaning green going through purple, before I say, yes, here we go. This is a way of being less risky, right? It's a more conservative way of trading. It's a more conservative way of investing, waiting for the proper time to get in and the proper time to get out, which is what we teach, right? We want you to make your own decisions on when to do that. Now, this one's still under a trend line. You can't deny that. It's still stuck under the same trend line that you saw in the Bitstamp pair. However, it is catching this 100 moving average and kind of playing support dance here, okay? As it plays the support dance, there's a chance that we get a bounce off of this 100 moving average up to the trend line. Now, I'm not saying that that's a guarantee. As you see, the 8 and 21 EMA are pushing down here, and the 100 moving average is kind of going up and sideways. Maybe I guess you would call that northeast, right? The price is getting pinched here. And since the price is getting pinched, we're going to see a move one way or the other, all right? It's hard to predict at the moment. Since we're over the 100 moving average and we bounced at one time already, makes me think it wants to go up. I think it may take a few days to do that. We can add in some other indicators and get kind of a feel for what we're looking for here. I'll add in the pivot points. And as you see, the main chart pivot point, which is here at 27,600, roughly 27.6, 27.5, whatever you want to call that number. That number hasn't breached yet. And as a matter of fact, we bounced off the bottom of it 1, 2, 3 different times. Not bueno. Es no bueno. All right. We did go down to the S1 level, which is the next support, and bounce off of that. And we're kind of sitting on top of it now. It looks like it's ranging, which is bouncing back and forth. Can't make its mind up, so it just bounces back and forth and builds pressure. Do we have an indicator that shows pressure? Well, we talked about this in the last live stream. That's the Bollinger Bands. When these Bollinger Bands get tight, as you see they have gotten, when they squeeze in, you're bound to see an inevitably sharp move. Now, we got a sharp move here, and it popped right back up and went back to the same spot and just kind of continued this move right back where it was. So the Bollinger Bands really didn't do anything. They just kind of flattened right back out like they were. When you do get those explosive moves, they look a little something like this. and stretch way out, very, very wide apart. You can see how tight they were back here. You had a sharp move up, and then it kind of consolidated and sharp move down, and then pop right back up. Bam, gone. Bands widened out, and when they widened out, they stayed wide until it come all the way down to where we are now. Tightened up a little bit right here, yeah. Tightened up a little bit here. I just like these Bollinger Bands to show me when an imminent move is going to happen. All right. When the bands get tight like this, you're going to see something. I'm going to lead this point to show you something else on XRP here in a moment, which I found pretty interesting just screwing around with charts today, looking over different assets. I don't own any XRP. I do plan on buying some if I get the right buy signal, right? And I haven't got that just yet. So it's getting close, and I'll talk about that in a moment. We have some comments over here, and I don't have the chat pulled up right now. I'm working on changing that. I might put the chat up here later, right? We'll figure that out. There's an option for it on TradingView. It's not even turned on because I didn't want it to be all laggy and stuff. All right. So, yeah, whatever. Anyway, Colo, what's up? Good to see you. Nicholas Greco, yeah, you're here. What's up, Educated Dummy? Can't stay tonight, but wanted to bounce and hit like. We'll check it out tomorrow. Peace out, brothers and sisters. Educated Dummy dropped 20 bones. Bro, thank you. Let's go, bro. Thank you. Anytime we get donations here, they are sent off to our people in Laos, and we take a shot. I got Crown Royal Regal Apple. Crown Royal. Thank you, sir. Let's go. Regal Apple's good stuff, man. I know it's probably a woman whiskey, but it's still good stuff. I don't care. Oscana, what's up? Good to see you. Ain't seen you in a while. Good to have you back. Cheers, Dynamis said. You've been saying yeah a lot lately, yeah? Yeah? In it? It's the freaking TV, man. Cycling Cotton, good to see you. CPI, Crisis Prevention and Intervention. That's pretty good. Timeless Travel, what's up, ma'am? How are you? Good to see one of the dames from Dames on the Blockchain on here. All right, so I talked about Bitcoin. Talked about these Bollinger Bands getting tight and an imminent move coming in. I talked about how it's on support but under resistance, so it's kind of ranging sideways. I think I see things I need to see improve, and they haven't improved yet. Until they do, I gotta hold off. Could we make another run back at 25,000 here? Absolutely we could, especially if that 100 moving average breaks on the CME chart. Now, if you go back to the Bitcoin chart on Binance here, show you the difference. You're already way under the 100 moving average. See this? Way under. And that's because the CME closes on the weekends and then reopens, so the moving averages don't move for those particular times. And Bitcoin Binance never stops. Just keeps on going all the time. So we're about to see a 50 and 100 cross. You should see price action move toward this crossing. I'd like to see it break that crossing. I'm really interested in the news that comes out Wednesday and Thursday. We should have a setup just before that. So coming into Tuesday and Monday and Tuesday next week should be very important. Lately we've had a lot of weekend movement, which I don't particularly care for because that creates those gaps in the chart. But there's a possibility that we see that happen. Yeah, there's a possibility that we see movement on the weekends again, which is or ain't a good thing, is or ain't a bad thing. I don't particularly like it, but I want my stuff to move on the Monday and Tuesday, which is usually much better for the chart. The chart structure holds much better, in my opinion, when that happens. Jenny Howell, what's up? Good to see you. All right. Manolo said, do you think IR already topped out, cycle over? Total looks awful. Yeah, good question. So let's look at some other charts real quick. Thank you for mentioning total market cap, because that's what I want to look at next. So let's go look at total market cap. This is total market cap 1, which is regular total market cap. So I've got a lot of stuff on this chart. Let me remove some. First thing I want you to see is the big fib I pulled, right? This is from the March move where we had that big fall. We ran up all the way to 31,000. Yeah, that was nice. That was actually 1.25 trillion. That was one of my targets. Then we started rolling back down and playing dead here. All right. Now we've come all the way back down to the 50 fib and we're kind of sitting on top of it. If this cannot hold this 50 fib, The next available target is right at about 1 trillion flat. Let me mark that up right here. See that? That 618 level is about 1 trillion flat right there. That's the 618 fib. That's if we do not hold this current level. And as you see, just from a chart perspective, this don't look the greatest, does it? Now, could this be a false breakout and this thing roll back over and break north? Yeah, it could. It could. And I'm here for that. You could also say that trend line isn't drawn correctly. And I would also hear that argument. That's fine. You can maybe say, oh, it's supposed to be drawn like this, Keith. You just had it drawn wrong. And that's all. Whatever. Fair enough. I'll hear whatever valid points you want to try to throw at me. I'm not going to argue with you about it, right? I'm here to help people make the most informed decision. If I flip it down in the linear mode, which is not log mode, right? Which is the opposite down here in the corner. I just flipped it to linear mode, as you see. I wanted to get both looks, so I looked at this a few times, and this lines up perfectly. So we're right at that point of, ooh, I'm not sure, isn't it? Isn't it? I said it, didn't I? There you go. I said, isn't it? British influence, bastards. But I need to see this get back over here and recapture this 50 fib. If it doesn't, man, that's dicey at best. All right. Got to see it get back over that line. If it doesn't, man, that is bad business. I don't want to see that. I really, really, really don't want to see that. So, man, make it happen. Get back over that line so I can have some stress relief. If I look at the moving averages, I'll take these fibs off now. This is still in a bad spot. Now, you're getting that 50-100 cross that I talked about for Bitcoin that hasn't quite happened yet. That's already happening for total market cap. See that? 50-100 cross almost at the exact same time as it's up against the trend line. I'd really need to see that thing move back toward this crossing and break it. If it doesn't, it kind of invalidates this crossing. It means that we will get an eventual break, which I'm hopeful for. 200 moving average is way down here. Right near that target area, huh? Man, that's going to suck, isn't it? That's going to break people's hearts, honestly. If we get that move down and it goes very, very rapidly, let's say this thing trickles over to the 14th and it goes shoo, and come down here and tags this box. Now, that's an opportunity, in my opinion, to buy. You'll likely get a bounce off the 200 moving average there. And it'll likely feel like this move felt. Real sharp, bounce off the 200 moving average, and then right back up. I've got my stop losses set. I haven't bought a tremendous amount. I only have a little bit of stuff. And I've got stop losses set to kick me back out if the time comes. So there's a possibility that happens. I don't want to be here for that. I wanted to do better than that. I wanted to hold where it's at, maintain this trend, and try to break north. If that happens, man, that changes a lot of stuff. It really does. That's the best case scenario. That doesn't mean that's what's going to happen, okay? This is right on the edge. It better hold for the weekend or improve rapidly. Got that? Here's the weekly. Sitting on the 200 moving average. This is the hopeful side of it. With the way this is sitting on the 200 moving average, let me move these lines off so you can kind of see a little better. Got a lot of stuff on the chart, and I know that. All right, there's just the 200 moving average. There's that green box I drew. Right. If we can hold and maintain this weekly 200 moving average, much ado about nothing. And we bounce right back up, and we make our move off and go, which is just so lining up with that same stuff I just told you about. We make a move off of this and start our way up and our journey back past this trend, potentially all the way up here to around 1.45 or 1.5 trillion. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm just going through different scenarios here for you. The other scenario, this thing fails the 200 and takes a plummet back down here to these lows, which was 900 billion or roughly a trillion, right? A little bit less than a trillion, 100 million less than a trillion. Beyond that, you got one more low down here. Those are the last chance qualifiers, in my opinion. This would bring us back down to around 20,000 on Bitcoin. This would bring us back to around 15,000 on Bitcoin if it came all the way down here and swept those lows. That's asking a lot. I'm not sure it does that. It would really, really dick punch a lot of people if that happened. As a matter of fact, if you're wondering what I think would cause that, people panicking. Maybe, everyone's all hyped up right now about the XRP stuff. Oh, they're going to win the suit. What if they don't? If they don't, and there is no settlement, well, that would really suck, wouldn't it? That's going to break some people's hearts. And it would likely push this thing down here to this 200 moving average. If we can hang on and this thing can get back going here and never hits that 200, I am happy as can be there, okay? We'll probably get an 821 cross and enough time to not have to freak out about it. As you see here is our 821 EMA. I just clicked it off, sorry. There you go. 821 EMA there. I'd get an 821 cross. These would be in the opposite direction that they are now, like you saw back here. Almost got an 821 cross, then it said psych and went right back down. Sucked, didn't it? Improve a little bit. Just give me something, man. Give me something. Show me that you can do it. I need to see you prove it. A lot of people's hearts are going to be broken if it doesn't happen. Right now, trading volume across all of crypto is down about 85%, 86%. That's bad, yeah? I would agree. Let's see that improve. 43 people on, 30 likes. Y'all go hit like real quick, everybody. It's free. It doesn't cost anything, all right? Doesn't cost anything to hit like. I said in it again. Yeah, sorry. I'm good. I'm back in Mexico. Nice. Enjoy it while you're there. That's awesome. I love Cosmo. All right. Before we go much farther, please, if you haven't checked out our Discord, right here it is. 786 Assassins / half off. That's Launch Pass. Link is down in the description of the video, everybody. It's still half off. It will be half off for a little bit longer. That's $8 a month next to nothing. All right. We're not asking for a ton of money here. It's not how it works. We are a group of people with like-minded individuals who all work together to make as much money as possible. I always put all my stuff on there first before it goes out anywhere else. We have tons of trade ideas, pro traders, people who trade low time frames, people who trade high time frames. They're all in there, all right? A membership group of 5,000 people in our Discord, 5,000 people in our Discord who are there to actively learn, trade, and grow. Also, our Discord is free for general access. You don't have to pay anything to get in there, all right? If one of the admins or moderators would share a link for our general Discord, that'd be awesome. Put it over here in the group chat. And anyone can jump in the Discord for free. We also have a chart section in there for free for everyone to use, so they can post charts, ask questions, etc. Now, you won't get the full one-on-one all the time treatment that the normal subscribers get, right? But, you know, you'll do pretty well. You'll do better than most. We want everyone to learn. We also do free TA sessions every 2 weeks. Jump in there and check us out, man. What's it going to hurt? Also, I'm going to start another prop firm challenge pretty soon. I've been talking to the block party trading guys. I'm going to try to do a prop firm challenge series, and I'm going to document it for everybody and kind of show you what it takes. What's the benefits of a prop firm? Well, let me record this. A lot of people don't have a lot of money to trade with, yeah? You've got some, and you don't want to lose it. Most people don't realize that you can get a prop firm, but it's dicey. You can get a prop firm if you pass their test and show that you know what you're doing. They'll give you thousands of dollars to trade with, as long as you trade on their platform, and they'll pay you once a month your money out, whatever profits you make. Usually it's a 90-10 split. You get 90, they get 10%, and you're trading with their money. You have to pass the test first. What is a test? Usually they ask you to make X%. And once you make X%, they say, okay, good, you can do it. We know, you know what you're doing. Cool. You have to pay for these prop firm challenges. They won't give them to you for free. All right. So I've looked into a few different ones. They're anywhere between $200 to $600. I would like to show people the process of making the money to pay for the prop firm challenge, and then taking the prop firm challenge and getting, I don't know, 50 grand and having 50 grand given to me to trade with, and show you guys how you can make an income using a set system of your choice and get paid every month. And some of you guys can start to become pro traders all the time. You can do what I do all the time. Just trade, right? I want people to learn this. And as long as you go through the right prop firms and you know you're getting paid out like you're supposed to, and you're not necessarily trading with your money, there's not a whole bunch of risk there. You just have to pass the test first, and that's stressful for people, and I get it. So I'm going to document it and show everyone what it takes. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to do that. And I'm getting ready to go on vacation at the end of the month. I don't know that I have time to start it yet. So I got to get with the block party guys and make sure we line this stuff out right. Okay. But I'm working on it. I'm going to get into what everyone else asked me to get into so that we cover all the coins, right? 41 people on, 35 likes. Everybody go hit like. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. Go share this around on social media, man. I want to get back to the days where we had 100+ people in here. Now, this started with 7 people, and that's how we had it first, was 7, sometimes 5, sometimes 3 people. We do much better than that now. Usually these videos get around 1,000 views after the fact. That still blows, doesn't it? That's still nothing in the grand scheme of things. We don't make anything from YouTube. I make about $6 a month from YouTube, max. And then the donations you guys give, we give away. So Meridian 26, he says worth every dollar. He donated $15 Australian, which I think is like $12 million. I've got a Mulvaney right here. Thank you, sir. I'm going to have a drink. Oh, I said I wouldn't call him that anymore. I'm sorry. I've got a blue here. Me and you, Shane Gillis, let's bring it back. All right. So, thank you, Timeless Travel. The Discord is definitely worth it. Yeah, when you get time, come hang out more. I know you have your own Discord too, and I appreciate that. Please DM me, and we can work on something to get everybody together, right? I want so many more people to have access. I want so many more people to be able to do what we do, to be able to maximize their gains. I want people to make max money, all right? And it doesn't happen without the community doing that. Bro, Rug is on here. What's up, brother? Good to see you. He said $6 a month buys a whole whack of Bud Light. Bro, they went up a little bit. They were super cheap. They've gone up about $3 a case. All right, they're starting to make some of my money back. So let me stop talking. Someone asked about cream. So let's pull that up. And we'll get into the coins here that you guys asked for. If you have something that you want to look at, please post it right here in the chat. We'll get to it. Talk it up. So cream, hell of a run here. Still trending up, believe it or not. Even though you got an 821 downward cross, which was a sign, right? And I had this red line drawn right here. As you see, this thing swept the high, eliminated the shorts, and has now bounced back. It's flat under the trend. It hasn't broken yet. 821 downward cross coming. I don't know if I would try to short this. All right. I would need to see it fail the trend line. If it failed the trend line and got down here, that's where I would try to roll my shorts in at. It's a little bit more safe because this structure is still hanging on. All right. It's still trending up. And yes, it could fail. Yes, it could fail and come over here and you'd be in a little bit better. But careful. All right. This is a scale out moment. Right. You just scale out. And if you get over here, you get out the rest of the way and even take a short. Make sense? I don't like to buy stuff without an 821 cross, especially when it's an uptrend. If a couple more percent to wait, just a couple more percent to wait, you're getting a much more safe buy. Yeah. In an uptrend, perhaps if it came down here and tagged this trend line, I'd be willing to take a calculated risk, right? Maybe buy 1%, maybe not everything I want to buy. I would potentially buy 1% of whatever I wanted here. And if it doesn't work, I set my stop loss just below that. And I get out. I would get out all the way, as a matter of fact. That's how I see cream. Not quite perfect at the moment. It may take a little bit. Someone asked about the high token. I didn't even know this was a real thing. But it is. Look at that shit. High Street. Really? Yeah, so this looks not great. Let's see. You've got some support down here, but it hasn't quite got there just yet. Gonna sweep this low, it looks like. And by what I mean by saying I say sweep a low, this is the local low. All right. The local. You have another one up here, but it's already pierced through that one. You have a local low, which means it could come down here. Just give it a little whoop, whoop, a little tweak with a wick, and that's it. And it may end up closing somewhere in here in Sniper's Alley, because I can already look at this and tell you that this is in Sniper's Alley without even putting a fib up there. Once you do this long enough, you start to be able to hawk in on these kind of things without any, indicators on there. And there you go. Sure enough, is sitting right in Sniper's Alley right now. Can you take a chance at Sniper's Alley? Yes, but I'm going to warn you, this thing is not oversold yet, and the MACD just rolled over and turned red and turned bearish. I bet you're under every moving average here. If I pull them all up, you're probably under them. How about the 200? Yeah, you're under the 200. Just the 200 moving average itself is a good indicator for bear bull. And the 50 moving average, you know, I don't say it enough, but a lot of people like to just use the 50 moving average as their buy sell. Okay? You buy when it closes above, you sell when it closes below. You want to continue adding to your position? Well, as long as it's over the 50-day moving average, you can continue to add to it. And if it goes under the 50, you start scaling out every day. That's a basic strategy that a lot of people use. I don't hate it. I think there is some merit there. Some people like to bump that down to the 20 MA. I like the 21 EMA a little better. That's why you see it on my chart with the purple line. That's usually the 21 EMA. Either way, high, not right now. All right, KuCoin. All right, this is Kadena, KDA. Yeah, man, she's getting blasted with sell pressure. And while it's down a metric ton, and it is a metric ton down, I'm not sure she's finished. You're starting to run into a little bit of support here, but not a lot. Not a lot. All right, there's a possibility this thing sweeps the low, and it's a low number. 49 cents. Gosh, that's another 20%. Goodness gracious. Yeah, Kadena could take another punch in the face here if it doesn't improve very rapidly. I mean, it could come all the way down another 40%. That's nuts. This is a tough, how do I say this nicely? This is a falling knife. I definitely wouldn't pick this falling knife up until I see it hit the floor. And once it hits the floor and spins around a little bit and starts to slow down, I may take a chance. But right now, man, I need to see you improve a little bit. A little something would be nice. This looks miserable. Look at that. I mean, that's a miserable looking chart. You can't deny it, right? Going to be a no for me on Kadena or Right Chain. Oh, hit the wrong button. There we go. All right, that's weekly. And as you see, it did hop the trend, but kind of rolled over. Yeah, okay, well, not a terrible position as you just saw on Kadena. So what we have here is a bit of a bounce on top of the trend line so far. You have a fib line down here at 280, which is the 236 fib. Looks like it's working its way back to the 236 fib, a little at a time. Let's see if it actually gets there. If it does get there and give us a bounce, well, we have what we need, and we can take a chance on it. But beware, it's still not technically an 821 EMA buy signal. As a matter of fact, it's probably not even close. I'll put those back up there for you. You're also under the 50-day moving average. You're under every moving average here. So you got an 821 downward cross right here. Not what you want to see. You want to see that the other way, like you saw back here. This is a correct 821 cross right there. And you have the opposite, which is es no bueno. Need to improve. Sorry. Not yet. We already talked about total. All right. Todd make. Okay, hang on. I got H bar. Thomas says H bar. Got you, ma'am. DAG, we'll do H bar next. And then CIDUS. CETUS. I can't even say that right. Link. Tail coin. That's a good one. I forgot about tail. AGLD. All right. Then we got King of Light. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. I hope sparring is going well. Hope everybody's doing well out there in the MMA land. I'm glad to have you on here, brother. Miss you in the unlimited Zooms. That was fun, dude. That was good times. Caspa. What else we got? Rocco WTX, ROCO WTX. Is that correct? No, WXT. I'm sorry. WXT. My fault. Octa. Or some of these are going to be some shitters, aren't they? RXD, ARB, got you. ASO. Nice, guys. I like this. Raclette says swing fail 4 hour. Let's have a look at what he's talking about. By the way, when I'm talking about some people who trade low time frames, well, that's Raclette right there. We call him Cheesy, or he's my favorite Aussie. He's talking about how this thing failed to fail. It's trying its best to hang on here. Rather than fail and break down, it's throwing this wick. So the swing failed to break, and now that's a swing failure. You may get a swing back north. That's what he's trying to say here. I believe that's what he's trying to say. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry there. All right, we told Thomas we'd do H bar. Let's do H bar. All right. So this one's been in a tricky spot for the last several weeks. It really fell rapidly. We know that altcoins particularly like the 786 area. We're only at 68.71 area at the moment. Now, back in January, I thought this thing may fall all the way down here to lower support, but it did manage to bounce. As you see, it tried to swing and break this low, which is just what Raclette was talking about. There's your wick, and here's the low. As you see, it didn't quite break that. That would have been a swing low fail. All right, it swing low and failed, and it couldn't go past it, so it popped back up, which is awesome. All right, so now we have the similar situation happening in the other direction now. We come back down, we bounce the trend line, we failed to breach, it continues going down. How far down is this swing low going to test? Is it going to come all the way down here to Sniper's Alley? Which alts, we know alts like 786 retraces, right? Is it going to stop where it's at and break loose? Either way it goes here, we have not broken the trend line yet. And since it has not broken the trend line yet, buying now is extremely risky. In fact, it's more of a risk to fail than it is to win. So you have to ask yourself, how much risk do you want to take here? If I'm not in a full-on bull market, I take a lower risk. That's just how I am. Would I maybe start to add on this because it's fallen so much? I don't hate that. So the better play here is to buy some, not to buy everything that you would buy. So let's say you had $100 and you're thinking, gosh, I want to buy some of this and I want to take a chance, but I don't want to fail either. So how about buying 25% worth, right? Just buy a quarter of what you would have normally bought. This way you actually bought some if it was the perfect bottom. And if it wasn't, you still have 75% to continue to try to find the best spot. All right. This is diversifying and dollar cost averaging safely. All right. Not a lot of people do this, and that's important. It's risk management. Risk management is so important. Risk management is the key to investing like a pro. DAG. Falling knife if I've ever seen it. Every single time this thing shows a little bit of up, snap of a finger, it's right back down. It is within a couple percent of the 2.5 cent club becoming a reality. It's so close. You guys have no idea. We're about 10% away from hitting the 2.5 cent club. Y'all have no idea the barrage of crap that was thrown at me for saying this was going to 2.5 cents. People are blaming me for the price going down because I'm an influencer. I bought some. At what? What? Now I've already sold it. I rebought it. My stop loss got kicked. I'm out. I'm not doing anything until some trends break here. I have learned my lesson. Even if we hit 2.5 cent here, I still wouldn't go haywire and buy a bunch because it's done nothing to me but prove that it's having a hard time. Now, there is a demand zone all through here, right on top of this support here. This is what we call demand. Find the demand zone. When the demand is reached, we will bounce. I hope. I got no proof of that either. I honestly expected this to react better. It has done terrible. One of the worst performing assets in crypto, for real. It's done next to nothing. And in comparison to what everything else did, this thing moved minimally, which sucks. I want this to do better. I want the DAG community to make a bunch of money. I really, really do. A lot of people are extremely emotionally invested, and I understand that. Everybody thinks they need this to make them money, and it's just not the case. I want everybody to do better. All right. Unfortunately for me, I can't buy this one yet. I just can't. It looks too rough. That's a great outlook, and thank you. Been watching my risk manager. Oh, thank you. I'm glad. Thank you for talking about that. Interpreted correctly. Thank you, Cheese. Bro, let's go. I love it when big brains are communicating. I'm a miniature brain, but you're a big brain, and I love communicating on a different wavelength. Jeremy Monroe said, "Dag." Danny Carney says, "Let Dag keep falling. I will buy at the bottom." Ooh. Okay, Danny Deep Pockets, live up to that name. Meridian said, "Come on, Jeremy, you know you want it." Jeremy Monroe said, "Exactly. No proof it's going to recover," and I would agree. That's what I'll do also. Thank you. All right, let's go. I like people talking about what they fixing to do because they ain't scared. Like Ice Cube said, man, if you're scared, go to church. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it. All right, Cetus. I've never even heard of this one, but this is trying to not be a falling knife. Unfortunately, knife still falling. It tried to get an 821 cross. It is failing right now. So for that reason, I'm going to hold off on this one. I need to see a little bit more improvement. It almost proved it. It almost proved it, and then it stopped. So I can't do it yet. It's close, but not yet. It almost got there, honestly. Real quick, Rio. This is one of the better performers that I've had. I actually have this alt. Through a big green candle here, has broken the 821 EMA and is moving up. There is a little bit of resistance right through here. Right about here. Right. You could argue there's some resistance right there. And because of that, I'll be watching that area closely. Also, some resistance up here. I drew a terrible line. Some resistance right through there. Another place where we may see a hold up. So, even some of these alts that do look good, be careful. They may throw up in your face. I'm doing well on Rio, and I don't want to sell. I had this over on MXC. That's where I got this one at. Let's look at Link. Link, where are you at, Link? There it is. One of the worst performing assets in crypto, right up next to DAG, is Link. Gosh, I feel awful for people who have a bunch of Link because, you know, everyone gets emotionally attached. The knife just keeps falling here. And I know I have these fibs drawn like this thing's going to change. It hadn't changed. If I zoom out to the macro here, because I know everybody always says, well, you don't look at the macro, Keith, which is total horse shit. I spend a ton of time looking at the macro. More than I should, honestly. Look at this. It's done nothing since July of last year. Dead sideways. That being said, look at these Bollinger Bands on the weekly. Squeezing, huh? Unfortunately, breaking down. Didn't want to see that. It looks like it wants to fail lower. If this thing fails lower, gosh, there's not a ton there to catch it. Let me go to an older chart here for you just to be able to see a little bit better. Here's an older Link chart. I actually have this one pulled up for the entire bull market, what I think it'll do, right? I think it could get up here to these levels, but that's a long-ass way, and it's done nothing to prove that yet. So it's me just pulling fibs on a higher time frame. However, you do have some support way down here at $4.50 on Link. If we get a break south and this thing runs to $4.50, gosh, that's a chance for me to get in a pretty damn good price. I'm not going to argue about that one. If I pull back here to the beginning of the bull market and 20 to the top here, we're sitting on the 618 fib at the moment. You can see that there. Yeah, sitting on the 618 at the moment. Haven't quite got enough power yet to breach it, but it's trying. It's trying. Sitting on the golden pocket isn't bad. If it fails, it's coming down to the 68, which is about $4.43, roughly $4.50, like I said. That's a good discount. Could it come all the way down to Sniper's Alley? Yes. And if it does, man, that's go time. Honestly, for me, that's so far down at that point. That'll oversell all the indicators if that happens. And I can't pass up an opportunity to buy a bunch of oversold charts, especially on something like Link that's a bit of a legacy coin. right. So, still stuck here on tailcoin. Downward pressure pushing back towards support line here that it held before. Not a ton of support, but it did hold it. Excuse me. It had a nice rebound from October. It was one of the faster performers. Yeah. Slowed down a lot since then. If this fails, if you look here, it's the same situation on 4 hour that Cheesy was talking about. Do we get a swing fail where it comes down here and doesn't swing and break this low? Do we get a swing fail here and it just break the north to it break that trend line north, start moving up? That's what I'd love to see, and I'm not going to buy this until I see that happen. It's just too risky. That's weekly, by the way. If I look at daily, my voice is starting to go a little bit. Sorry. My sinus has been acting up. The last couple of days, I've had hell on my sinuses, man. It sucked. That block party video I did, you guys didn't see it, but before that, I was sneezing and blowing snot like crazy, and then after that thing, man, I took antihistamines and everything else. I was feeling like crap. It's just the South, man. What are you going to do about it? And I'm getting older. As I get older, my sinuses will start to bother me more. And it sucks. So, back to tailcoin. This is back from October. We'll ride that trend up here and look at it. Buy the fibs. This stops in July. Stops going down in July. Finishes or completes its move by July. It is hitting Sniper's Alley. It's not oversold. It's close. Very close to being oversold. Kind of just driving sideways. So, as soon as I see the trend break on tailcoin, it may be worth, taking a bit of a chance. I'm not saying that the upside is enormous, but I believe there's a bit of a chance here, and it could swing back all the way back to 0.002 if it does. One step at a time, though. It is nowhere near good enough yet. I'm going to go a little faster because a lot of these I've left out. AGLD. I got to put the foot down on the gas pedal, bro. CRV to 69 cents is a 100% possibility, anonymity. J. Ortiz says, who dag? Bro, they're going to roast you for that. All right. Adventure Gold. I've never heard of this one. Yeah, I probably have. That's wrong. I shouldn't say that. I've probably heard of this. 821 cross. You are 2 candles over. However, be careful. You're still stuck under trend. I want to see this break. I don't hate taking a chance, right? It's right under the trend line. It's risky. If this thing breaks the trend line, you are good to go. It just hasn't done it yet, right? So I don't have this. It wasn't a terrible idea to buy yesterday. Let's add in some other stuff real quick just to have a gander. You are over the pivot. That's good. You're still stuck in the cloud, so it may slow down a bit here, like I said. Bollinger Bands are moving up. Not bad. And let's check on some moving averages here. 200 moving average. Oh, you bounced off of that 200 moving average. You see that right there? Very nice. Excellent. All right. 100 broke that. That's good. 50 broke that. Hey, of all of them, A gold looks better than most. And I will give you props for pointing that out. Whoever pointed it out, thank you. NVIDIA. We do more than crypto here, folks. That's just my favorite. That's why I talk about it the most. All right. I thought this may happen. I talked about this on Sunday when I was on Wolf Financials AMA. I'm sorry, Spaces, Twitter Spaces. I thought NVIDIA may slow down a little bit and head back toward this 347 level. Now, it hasn't surrendered that much yet. Just a little bit of sell pressure, not a ton. This thing went so far so fast. MACD starting to roll over. RSI went super overbought. 347 is the first level. I know I say first level. 350 roughly is the first level. Let's see what happens from there. If we can get back and maintain the 21 EMA, we may see more up, and that gap may not stay. May just stay there and may not close. What I mean, may not close. May stay there, and we may see a gap just form for a while because we do have one down here as well. There's a gap down here as well. So that's never closed. If that 21 EMA can't hold 347 roughly, and if that can't hold 304, all these are places where I would consider buying in and adding to my position because microchips have done very well. That being said, I think the upside is limited short term. CASPA, not quite there yet for me. Hasn't broken the 8 or the 21 EMA. Close, but no thank you. Rocco, downtrend also. Rocco's Modern Life. Rocco's Modern Life. Bro, I love my old school Nickelodeon stuff. You guys have seen it before. I wore a Nickelodeon shirt on here, and it's got Rocco's Modern Life on it. That was one of my favorites, bro. Rocco's Modern Life, Ren and Stimpy. Gosh, bro. The Rugrats. Man, that's so good, dude. That stuff hits my heart, man. All right, Rocco Finance. It's trying. It's off the 200 moving average, and like I said a minute ago, with A-Gold, Adventure Gold. I don't hate bounces off the 200 moving average. They're worth taking chances on sometimes. Chances do have to be taken in order to make gains. Indicators are fairly sideways. A set a stop loss. If it were me, I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. My stop loss would be about 13.5 cents. 13.50 was where I would set my stop loss. 0.1350 if I bought and set a stop loss. That's what I would do. WXT. I'll try to get through the rest of these. Sorry, everybody. Falling knife. Nope. No thank you. Need to see improvement before I do anything on that one. Octaspace. I think this is the one you're talking about. Big no for me on this one. EXD. Falling knife, no thank you. Arbitrum. Let's look at Arbitrum. Where you at, Arbitrum? There you are. All right. Knife still falling on Arbitrum. It's trying to hold on to this trend line. It's got to break resistance. It just keeps struggle busting to break resistance. I'm hoping we get a move like this off of this trend line to break this red trend line here. You see you're running right to the end of this wedge. Oh, man. I think Arbitrum has a big future. I'm just not sure if it's right now or not, right? I think 2024, 2025 would be very, very good to Arbitrum. Just having a hard time at the moment. Do a little bit more for me and break this trend, and then we can talk big money here. Just not there yet. ASO. No, I think I meant ASO, the chart. Academy Sports and Outdoors. That's a good one. All right. Knife's been falling. It recently bounced the trend line. I don't like that. Don't like that. You do have RSI coming up off of the oversold. You have the MACD rolling up. Gosh, this is a tough spot. Under the 200. I don't know if it's worth the risk for me. I need to see it get over the 200 at least. Break the trend line. How about that? Break the trend line and get over the 200. You've satisfied a lot for me. That would change a lot of things, and it would look a lot different. Already got you, June. Did those at the very beginning, brother. Sounds like Flair song part. Oh, boy, Mullet, don't you dare. I'm going to text you tomorrow, Mullet. So listen, that's midnight. Just like that, an hour goes by. It's crazy. It didn't used to happen that way. I remember we used to do these live streams for 2 and 3 hours. I'm not going to do that anymore. It's extremely stressful to do that. I've tried my best to be less stressed. So, again, thank you all for coming. I say this every time, and I appreciate it. I have a lot more coming. Here's our Discord link. Don't waste your opportunity, everybody. Please don't waste your opportunity, all right? I want everybody to become a pro trader. I want everybody, and I say pro trader, I mean you're a profitable trader all the time. That's what I want to see, all right? I want everybody to have enough money to trade with no matter what. I want you doing better. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. I swear to God, I appreciate every single one of you. Can't do it without you guys. Thank you all very, very much. I want you to make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. And that was Jay-Z. And like the Notorious B.I.G. said, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. You'll never understand how much I appreciate that. Sky's the limit. Y'all be good. See you next time. Discord time. Time to hit that Zoom call. Y'all be good. I'll see you. Peace.